lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. Now today I'm going to be talking about the 3 signs, the 3 red flags of a fake spirit guide. Now this is a really important thing to know, especially when you are trying to be a medium, obviously, but if you're doing any sort of spiritual practices, sometimes you can just out the blue contact a spirit guide, and most people want to contact a spirit guide. So it's really important to know the difference between when you have met a genuine being that's loving, you know, of a light, and when you haven't, when you've met a being that is just using you to feed off your energy, and it's basically a trickster spirit. So there can be many different types of different entities that are good and bad. Obviously, you know, a positive entity is there to help you, it's there to guide you, it's there to, you know, be of service to you basically, but in a loving, gentle sort of way. A negative one, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. And they will drain you, they will trick you, they're using you, but they're in disguise as something that's, you know, loving and, you know, oh, they're looking out for you. They're very much similar to a real life narcissist. If you've ever like met someone who's a narcissist, very similar. So the first sign is they will typically love bomb you. So like a narcissist in real life, when you first meet this guide, they will do everything they can, well, fake spirit guide, they will do everything they can to convince you that they are an angel. So a lot of the time people will think they've contacted angels or even dead relatives. Basically, they will try everything they can to gain your trust. So they will present themselves as basically whatever you are most trusting towards, because they will know if you are trying to summon an angel or even a benevolent being, like an alien sort of thing, like a, you know, Arcturian or Pleiadian. They will know what you like, they will know what you're drawn to, and if you're not into that sort of thing, they might present themselves as a dead relative, like a grandma or a dad, or, you know, something that again they know that you loved dearly, and you will instantly listen to them and trust them. So it's to let your guard down, and they will do this by basically like excessively complimenting you. So if you were, you know, getting complimented all the time and they're saying you're very special, you know, you're incredible, you're this, you're that, you know, just basically think of it as like, you know, why the excessive compliments? Of course the spirit guides will be nice to you, you know, a genuine one, but they're not there to massage your ego, okay? They'll never massage your ego. They'll help you and they'll be very nice to you and very loving, but it's always just pure love. They're not very specific when they compliment you, etc. Because again, a spirit guide is not, most of the time an angel, etc. They're not what people think. They're not all just like, oh, fluffy, light and love. They're not. They can be strict as well. They're very neutral because they respect your free will. They're always there to just gently guide you, but you're the one who has to do the work ultimately. However, with a trickster spirit guide, they make out like they're going to do all the work, they're going to save you, they're going to, you know, do everything for you, etc. So be very wary of excessive love bombing. So the second sign is what comes after the love bombing. And once they've gained your trust, they will then start to ask you to do weird things. So they'll become, they'll become very demanding. So number 2 is they start to become very demanding of you. They will ask you to do, they may even ask you to do unusual practices, rituals, spells, even invest your money into some things I've seen before, you know, to make you lose your money. A story I read in a book that I have, this poor woman got tricked into thinking that a demon was Archangel Raphael after going to like a crystal Reiki, you know, class or something. So, you know, be cautious. You can pick up these tricksters anywhere, okay? Especially in New Age stuff. Because they know most people are not aware of demonology. So you're easy targets, I'm sorry to say. So this poor lady, Obviously she went through the love bombing, and then once the entity had her full trust, he was telling her, oh, to make money, you've got to give all your money away. So once she had a divorce, she invested all of her money into something and completely lost all of it. So she was left broke, which she had to leave home for, etc., and like size down. So she was really struggling financially. And then it started to convince her that she needs to drink alcohol. And of course, if you've listened to my, videos before, you'll know that alcohol is a gateway. So this weakens your aura for spirits, especially negative ones. So when you're a drunk and when you consume a lot of alcohol, your guard is massively lowered. So they can feed off your energy tenfold. And puppet you. They can get inside you easier as well. They can puppet your energy and manipulate you far easier when you have alcohol in your system. Because your consciousness, is not even there. It's massively lowered. This is why some people will literally act monstrous. They'll completely act like someone else when they get drunk. And then you think it's like you're possessed, basically. You black out, you don't even know what the hell you done. It's a reason why they're called spirits, drinks, alcoholic drinks. So anyway, it convinced her to start drinking loads of alcohol and masturbating. And this woman was done neither of those things. And of course, a lot of negative entities feed off sexual energy as well. This is why even as a woman, I don't recommend masturbating all the time. Of course, do it now and then if you want, but don't do it excessively. Just be aware. Try to do it, obviously from a space of love and appreciation to your body, not so much just for pleasure or from your ego, or addiction, basically. Don't do it from an addictive state of mind. Do it from a love state of mind. But she, because it's a very powerful energy that they can feed off. I have other videos on this topic that you can go watch. So they all, with me, I first got in contact with, a medium contacted me, which I'll do a story time on because it's a mental story, and it nearly destroys my life, or it did destroy my life. Basically because I let in the wrong spirit. I listened to spirit guides that were talking to her, which I later found out were definitely not genuine. And this spirit guide was again presenting it as her dead father. It presented itself as her dead father. So obviously it gained her trust from that. And also powerful spirit guides. But they got me to do a ritual, a spell, and this was before I knew much about witchcraft, etc. I never done spells much. And they convinced me to do it, and it was a pretty simple spell as well. But since I completed this spell, all hell broke loose massively, and my health massively deteriorated, and I'm still recovering to this day, to be honest. I used to be far more healthy. And it's a crazy story, but I can't get into it now because it's so long. But this is what they'll do. They'll make you do weird things that are low vibrational, that will go against your morals, and they'll try to convince you that it's a positive thing, that it's a good thing. They'll try to convince you that doing evil deeds, which you would normally have seen as evil or wrong or not right, they'll convince you that it's fine. They'll convince you that, oh no, it's fine, it's good for you, sort of thing. This is why you've got to be so careful in the new age and spiritual path. Especially why, and I believe this is why so many people wrongly educate that, oh, there is no such thing as evil. Because a lot of the time they're getting told that by spirit guides who are demons in disguise. It's really that simple and, unfortunate. Obviously not everyone, but, it's risky. And this is why so many people then completely have their lives destroyed and then run off to the church, because the church is the only people that, openly talk about demonology. So, number 3, they'll become very aggressive if you refuse or even question what they demand you to do. So they'll become very aggressive and demanding and very draconian. And this is exactly what happened to me when this medium was trying to help me through her spirit guides. And basically, so it'll be like a complete switch. So they've gone from being really loving, like love bombing you in the beginning, and then they'll all of a sudden start to be, you know, their energy will turn very aggressive, very negative, very demanding, very, but only if you question them. So as soon as you start questioning, they pick up on that. As soon as you are starting to lose trust, they pick up on that. And then they will get angry a lot of the time because they are, you know, they can't hide their true colors forever. Some can because they're extremely cunning, but like little snippets will come out now and then, passive aggressiveness even. So they won't be like extremely aggressive all the time, of course, because they know that you obviously see through their disguise then. But their passive aggressiveness and their like entitlement, and they'll even start to threaten you. Like what I had with my incident was the guides told the medium that basically if I don't do as they say, then they'll abandon me, and then I'll be basically unable to like pass through the light when I die. I'll get stuck in purgatory, I'll be a lost soul, I'll be, you know, even, yeah, I'll suffer greatly, etc. And yeah, it was extreme manipulation, extreme threats. And it's just insane, like, and I was very naive back when this happened to me. I didn't know much about, you know, all this sort of thing. So it was, you know, but eventually I just put my foot down and I was like, no, this is like, this needs to stop. I've had enough, basically. I'm sick of their BS. I don't care what happens to me anymore. Because the whole time my health was deteriorating. And that's another thing. You'll notice that they've never actually given you anything. So even though you've been through all this BS and they've come to, your life will get worse off basically. So they'll come into your life probably when you're in, you know, an okay state, and then they'll destroy it. But they gaslight you constantly over it. So again, they basically act like a narcissist. They really, really do. So if you have experienced like a narcissist in real life and you see traits within a sort of spirit guide, that's a red flag instantly. Like just stop, just stop listening to them. It doesn't matter how beautiful, because they can disguise themselves as well. So if you do have the gift of seeing them and they present themselves as an angel or, you know, whatever, or some sort of deity, like, they can easily do that. It's called a glamour spell, okay? They can easily glamorize themselves to look like anyone they choose, okay? So be extremely, extremely careful if you are a medium or if you're trying to contact your spirit guides, because they can cause dire effects in your life. Like they really, really can. And I've experienced it myself. Be very careful. Always know, always listen to your gut, because the whole time I always had a weird feeling in my gut. So always be careful, always follow your heart, never lose your morals for any spirit guides, never go against them, okay? It doesn't matter what they say or how powerful they come across. Unfortunately, some people can't get rid of their guides easily. If they are some sort of like quite powerful demonic one, you might have to go see like an exorcist, an esoteric exorcist, you know, a specialist who can help you with that. A lot of the time though, if they're not, you know, too bad, like, you know, if their strength isn't too strong, then you can just like, you know, be done with them sort of thing. You just got to create that boundary, you know, cleanse yourself, etc. And just use your intent, just be like no more. And just keep on the high vibration. Please do not be having like alcohol, drugs, even meat, anything that's of a a low vibration, especially when you're in this situation. You've got to be really careful with your vibration. So I'll do more on this topic. Let me know if you want to hear more about this topic, but those are the 3 top signs of a fake spirit guide, so be careful. And remember, a real spirit guide will always be very neutral. They'll always be very gentle with you, because they know free will, okay? And you have to do the work, because, you know, they're not going to do everything for you. Again, that's like selling your soul for like, oh, money or etc. Like, this is why you've got to be really careful with like the law of attraction and all this sort of stuff. you know, focus on being a good person, focus on having a heart, following good morals, just have morality basically. Be really, really careful. But even when you do those things, sometimes it just, unfortunately, you can still manifest them. Well, you're not manifesting them, they can still interfere with your life because they are drawn to light workers, especially because most clairvoyants and light workers, you're more open naturally to them. So they can easily, you know, get into you because you're a bridge between the astral realms or the spiritual realms and this physical realm. If you do want to learn more about developing your intuition and opening your third eye, etc., to better have, you know, a discernment about these sort of things, then I do have a free ebook. I always link that in my description box below. If you do need one-to-one spiritual guidance, I now do readings for people. So it's kind of a mix of spiritual therapy and counseling, and also I use my oracle cards. So it's a mix of everything really. So if you want that as well, I will link that below, and visit my website for extra bits and bobs and other services that I provide. Much love to you. Ahimsa.